Today I'm going to show you how I clean the drum carder. I'm going to change the camera angle here in just a moment so you can actually see the carder. It's right here, and I'll change that so you can watch the process. But I'm getting ready to clean the drum carder because the fiber that I was using, it was a dark gray alpaca, and so you get all these little nips and noils and dirt and hay and just all kinds of stuff that gets in there. And I'm super excited about the fiber that I'm getting ready to spin. And so I want this thing to be clean. So the parts of the drum carder, this is called the liquor end. And when we turn the crank, you can see that the liquor end and then the drum, they go in opposite directions. And the liquor end is actually exactly kind of what it sounds like. When you put the fiber here, as you turn the crank, it's sucking it in and dispersing the fiber onto this top portion here, okay? And this one is a manual crank. You can see the hand crank right there, but it's not too difficult. It does have the C-clamp where you can clamp it down to the table or the surface that you're gonna be working on, and I strongly recommend that. Here's what I'm using. As crazy as this is gonna sound, I've got two different types of dog brushes. I'm gonna be using this one, but I've really found that this one works the best to start the process. It lifts the fibers off of the drum and gets it to the very top. And you see the little tines? It's going to lift it to the very top of the tines, and then this one helps brush it off and collect it better. You need to get the liquor end cleaned before you clean this, because some of what's on the liquor end is going to wind up over here. I mean, it only makes sense. It's pulling it in to disperse it here. So it's going to be the same way with the dirt. So we're just going to take the brush. You can see how clean it is right now. I'm going to put it on top of the liquor end, apply a little bit of pressure. Whoops, gonna have to hold it backwards, and turn my crank. It looks like I'm applying a lot of pressure, but I'm not. It's just a smaller surface area than the drum, so my hand keeps slipping. I'm really not applying that much pressure. But I'm gonna keep doing this for a little while. Okay, so I've been cleaning for a little while with this brush. On the liquor end, I haven't pulled as many fibers off as what it'll pull off on the drum portion. But now I'm gonna switch to this comb and keep cranking. I have done all my cleaning that I'm gonna do on the liquor end, and I mean, there is still stuff way down in there, but you can see how much cleaner it is than the drum. Of course, some of what I was loosening up here as I was cranking was then picking it up on here, and so that's why you do the liquor end first. So I'm loosening that with the bigger tine. Not applying as much pressure as it might look like I'm applying. Now slowly go back to my You can see how much it's getting off. So it is very effective. So I'm finished with the cleaning process, and I'm very pleased. I mean, it's not perfect. I don't think there's any way that I could ever get it back to perfect, but I don't think this thing has been this clean. In fact, I know it hasn't been this clean since I purchased it. Look. Now, yes, of course, you can still see a little bit, but I'm feeling really good about it. Okay, so now that we have a clean drum carder, I really wanted to get started on some carding and show you how I use the drum carder. I'm not going to do the paddles today. This is strictly just going to be about how the drum carder works. So I was going to talk a little bit about carding versus combing. Carding wool will produce a woolen, you've heard of worsted or woolen yarn, and carding produces a woolen yarn. Woolen yarn is where there's more air trapped into the fibers. of the yarn as it's being carded into bats, and it makes a more fluffy, lofty type yarn. This fleece it's gonna be like spinning gold. This girl's name is Grace. Grace is a Shetland. I have not had her micron tested. I just took a sample and I'm fixing to send it off for micron testing. I believe it's gonna be a fairly low micron level. I would not call her fine fleeced, but it is extremely soft. It's so soft, and she's literally golden. And then whatever is made with this yarn, it's gonna be, whoever wears that item, it's gonna be like adorning themselves with grace, because the sheep's name is Grace. So anyway, the first thing you want to do, I have taken a lock, I kind of flicked it open, got it pulled apart, and you want to feed it in from the end that is closest to the sheep. So this would be the skin side, this would be the ends side, the tips, the outward part of the fleece, the part that you see. And the reason you normally want to feed it in from the skin side is because it's going to be taken up on a more even keel. Okay, so you put it here on the liquor end, and I'm gonna have to get in a better position so that my crank doesn't hit the table. And you let the liquor end grab it and pull it up onto the drum carder. You can't see that. Right there, see that? How it's pulling it up on there? We'll grab some more. We're gonna do it again. Again, we're gonna do skin side. One of the jobs of the liquor end is to pull off second cuttings, the tiny little cuttings that weren't meant to be there, and some other parts. So sometimes what you see on here are parts that you don't want. Sometimes, of course, it's going to get off some good fiber as well. We're going to get some more, and we're just going to keep going. Another way to put feed fiber onto the carder is to just put it directly here. You still do the skin side first. This is a great way, a way that a lot of people like to blend their fibers. You can put it on like this, it goes on really smooth. You can also use it to flick open the ends if you were going to comb, and some people just flick the ends of the locks open on a hand carder or a paddle card, but you can also flick them open with a drum carder, just like that. So you can see we've got quite a bit done here. This is usually where I look to see how much I have on there. And so now we're ready to take it off. You usually get a tool with your drum carder, and I'm using a bent, and it's bent because I bent it. It should be straight, but I just use a knitting needle. And you go to the splice in the drum carder, and you start gently lifting your fiber off. I say gently, but you gotta give it a little tug. You go all the way across. And you roll. And then all the way down. You're just going to go in underneath it a little bit and pull it up.